Hey, welcome back to the Positive Side Podcast. Glad you're tuning in. The host Jeremy Todd. It's been a little bit, and hey, I hate excuses. I've been a little bit I've been in high demand. Let's just say that from the great words of Mrs. Jamie Langham. But today we're going to get into it. This is going to be more of a business podcast, and again, it's the Positive Side Podcast, Positive Side about life, health, business, family, and motivation. Today's going to be the business episode, and we're going to talk about 7 ways to build a great career. And this was shared to me by my coach. Coach Pat. So, and again, if you don't have a coach, I'd recommend everybody that go out and hire a coach. It's important. It allows you to get to the next level quicker. It allows you to get from point A to point B in a timely manner. I would recommend you to do it. That's why I do it. I talk what I preach what I talk about. I preach about what I talk about, or talk about what I preach, or take action, something along. You know what I mean? The Positive Step Podcast got a great 5-star review, and unfortunately, part of it's cut out, and it gives me the opportunity to kind of make it up. But this comes from the Mills family. Much love. Very inspiring. I woke up one day tired of negativity. I Googled positive thinking, and I was led to Jeremy's podcast. I listened to his short podcast and the longer ones where he asked guests some great questions. I'm blown away with how raw, humble, and it's cut off, but cool he is. But hey, man, more importantly, for whatever reason, iTunes cut it off. I don't know why, but man, hey, I just appreciate you taking time, right? I mean, that's part of it. Done is the new perfect. And it made my day. So thank you so much for leaving those reviews. And again, allows other people to find the review. If you haven't left a 5-star review for the podcast, please do find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those other good places. But today, let's get back into the episode. How to build a career in 7 steps. Now, this is from it says a quote from James Clear. And I'm not sure who James Clear is, but it was given to me by my coach. So this will be like, it's one of those things that if you steal it once, you give them a shout out. You steal it from the second person, you kind of give them a shout out, and the third time it's yours. This one might be mine, right? I love it. Let's get into it. Number one, so easy when you're trying to build a great career. It's just, you got to do great work. You got to step up, and you got to be the person you talk about, and you've got to set that example. And, you got to set that example when no one's looking as well. So, for instance, what I like to do is I like to go in early. I like to go in super early, not tell anybody that I'm showing up. I just get there early and get all my work done. It allows me to get all my checklists done, allows me to get focused, allows me to where I don't have people coming at me constantly and asking me questions. It just allows me to get in there and dig down deep, but I do great work. And I'm confident about that, right? I mean, hey, I make mistakes as well. I think making mistakes and being honest about your mistakes is also part of doing great work. It just makes you human, and it makes you more likable. I mean, it just allows you to be allows you to be more real. It's who I am. I mean, I'm constantly making mistakes, and that's okay. But again, at the end of the day, I do the best work I possibly can in order to build my career. Number 2, it says share it publicly. Now, it's interesting when I talk about share it publicly, because there's a lot of people out there that just put themselves on blast, and they're like, hey, look at me, look at how I'm doing. Look at this, look at that. And I'm going to kind of turn this into a little family story. Today I was with my kids, and we're going out and buying shoes. And it's funny because we talked about, or no, excuse me. Yeah, we did go out and buy shoes, but my daughter and I went to Kohl's, and they've changed the name to like Sephora or something. Bear with me on this story because I'll bring it all back home. But it was interesting. She said, Dad, I these pictures of these people with these faces, I don't like them. They're just too big. They're just a little obnoxious. They're smiling cheesily, and I just don't like them. And I said, well, what that is, Mia, is it allows other people to, it takes them away from having the confidence within themselves. They feel like they're deep down inside, they're not pretty enough. They're not beautiful enough. And obviously this goes towards women. This isn't everybody, but this is the conversation I have with my daughter. I said, what this does is it allows people to put makeup on themselves when they're already beautiful inside, and they're already special. They're already amazing. And when you don't feel pretty inside, sometimes you want to put makeup on, but that doesn't address the actual reality of the situation. It just puts a Band-Aid on it, and then it gets worse. And then you have to get the new clothes, then you have to get the new shoes, then you have to get the new house and the car, and it just spirals out of control over a lifetime where you're constantly trying to keep up with somebody or trying to show people what you're all about instead of being happy within yourselves. And it's a great lesson for my daughter and I because, hey, we get shoes when we need shoes, right? We get clothes when we need clothes, but it was more of the conversation about understanding that you're beautiful within yourself inside. Just the way you look is beautiful enough. And we don't need all those outside things. So when it says share it publicly, I get that part of it. Number 2 is share it publicly. I get that. You want to kind of tell people what's going on. And for me, with my career, becoming a general manager of a car dealership here, it allows me to share that on Facebook to recruit other people, because if they can look at what I've done and feel the raw, authentic energy that I come through the podcast and talk about my life and with all the mistakes that I've made, I think it also gives inspiration to allow other people to work hard with you so they can hopefully achieve some of the same goals that you have. Number 3, cold email people 2 steps ahead of you. I love that. I love that. Find out where you want to go, mirror them. You don't have to be like BFFs with them. I've got Dave Anderson's been on my show several times, and I've emailed Dave, and he's several steps ahead of me. He's been a GM of a store. He's got his own training company now, and I love where he's going. I love his mindset, and I constantly email him and asking him questions. He always responds back. That's the thing I love about Dave Anderson. But cold email and people 2 steps ahead of you is so important, because you would be surprised on how much actual response you get back from these people. It's not like, oh my gosh, these people are way better than me. They're too they won't think about this. This is how I'll still think. I don't want to email someone that's doing way better than me, because they don't really care about me. And the fact of the matter is, actually, more successful people love telling their stories and bringing people with them. And that's one thing we got to get out of our own way if we want to get to the next level, is emailing those people that are 2 steps ahead. Number 4, talk about your work and trade ideas. Again, this is extremely important. No bad question is it really a bad question. And again, I tell people I work with this constantly. Come to me with some answers. Come to me with some questions. I don't know. There are no stupid questions, because the only way we're going to get to the next level is find out those questions that people have deep down inside that they're afraid to ask. And it's crazy. We all have greatness within. I say this in this episode constantly. Well, at the end of it, every single time I say you have greatness within, but it's reality. And until we start owning that and owning the greatness that is within us, we're never going to see that opportunity to come to fruition. If you don't actually ask these questions or come up with these ideas and say, hey, boss, or hey, whoever, I've got this great idea, and then actually tell them your idea, you never know. But yet we sit on the sidelines a lot of times and watch life pass by. But I think this is an opportunity coming in on Monday to really get those ideas and share those work and trade ideas. Number 5, host events and meet in person. I love that. Back in the day, I don't even know if they have them anymore. They used to have meetups. I had my own meetup for a little bit, and it was exciting. I met with a lot of great people, but I think this also talks about what I've been kind of talking about at work, is you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. If you want to be more successful, hang out with more successful people. If you're in a group of 5 people and you're the most successful person, you're in the wrong group. You need to get out of it. You need to fire your friends. You need to find new people that are going to push you and inspire you, that have similar ideas and similar goals. But if you're in that group, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. And it's so real, because again, no disrespect, but if you're broke as a joke, or you're miserable, or you're unhappy, chances are, if you actually really look at it, the people you're hanging around with are also broke and miserable and unhappy. Sometimes you got to be the one to break free of that group. Number 6 says become friends. Oh, well, this talks about with the people that you're reaching up to. If you're going to be around more successful people, and you you go find these new groups, become friends with them. Reach out to new friends. Reach out to the people that are higher up and just buy them coffee, but actually become friends with them. Ask them how their families are doing. Ask them what inspires them. Ask them what their struggles are. Do different things with them. Check in on them on their birthday. I think that's super important too. When you become friends with people that are more successful, you build these better relationships. And what happens over time, it opens up business opportunities also. And number 7, as you become friends with this group of people, you all rise together. Cream rises to the top. Opportunity comes to those people that are willing to take advantage of it and take those chances. I think it is time for you in your life, no matter where you are. It is October 3rd. We've got 2 months left to go in this year. And if you were in the same exact spot you were last year, financially, mentally, physically, friendship-wise, you are doing something wrong. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and check your ego at the door. Get up off your lazy ass and go out and do something, because 1 year is going to turn into 2 years. 2 years is going to turn into 5 years. And then before you know it, 10, 20 years down the line, you're going to look back and be like, damn, I wish I would have. I wish I would have went for those goals and dreams. I wish I would have taken action. I wish I would have shared that idea I had 10 years ago, and yet you never do. And then you sit on the sidelines and things get worse and worse and worse for you. And before you know it, it's over. And that my friends, is scary as hell. The Positive Side podcast. Sorry, it's been a little bit. I've got Sugar Rose episode coming out this week for sure. That I had to do some editing. Well, I didn't. I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to editing. I had to reach out to someone who had to do the editing for me. That is coming out this week. The schedule is packed over the next couple months. I mean, it's awesome. It's I had to push a couple things off because of the new career opportunities and changes. I've just been a little bit busier, but that is no excuse because we're going to double down and get these episodes back on the Positive Side podcast. Hey, one other thing, I'm sure you guys know this, but you can run over to the Amazon and buy the Positive Side book, find out a little bit about my background, what makes me this crazy as I am. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I'm doing that now, helping people set up podcasts and blowing up their lives and making it, more enjoyable, more excitable, more motivational. And that's what we do here at the Positive Side podcast. Follow me on all social medias. Follow me over there at YouTube. Leave those 5-star reviews. You've got greatness within. Like always, this is the Positive Side.